Hi, my name is Tiffany. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about homeschooling and what to do when you make that decision to homeschool. Now, a lot of people have decided to homeschool right now because of everything that's going on with the pandemic and the uncertainty with the schools and how that's going to happen. And it may just be easier just to say, you know what, I'm just going to homeschool my kids. But it can also be overwhelming once you make that decision. It's like, where do I start? How do I know what to teach? How do I know what subjects? All of this stuff. So I wanted to take just a couple of minutes just to show you this website that'll kind of help, especially with the legal stuff, because that's where you really want to start. You need to know how are you taking attendance? Are you record keeping? All of that. So let me show you on my computer. One site that I wanted to share with you guys is HSLDA, and it stands for Homeschool Legal Defense Association. I love this site because it's a one-stop shop for all law information regarding your state when it comes to homeschooling. This site also has a ton of information and resources that you can look through, but today I'm just going to show you where to find the laws for your state. So when you go to legal, click on homeschooling in my state. Then you'll have a map that pops up of the United States, and each state is clickable. If you notice, the map is color coded based on how high the regulation is, and that basically means, is it a really strict state when it comes to homeschooling, or is it not as strict in terms of regulation, in terms of what you have to do? So I'm going to particularly show you guys some examples of New York and California, because those are the two states that I've lived in and have homeschooled in. So I'm going to click on New York first. And when you click on each state, you'll see the law at a glance. And if you scroll further down, you'll see some articles that you guys can look through. But in terms of just the law part of it, I'm going to click on View Complete Details. Now, as you can see, New York has very high regulation. You have to submit a notice of intent to the district. You have to submit the grade level, your child's name, the curriculum or plan of instruction that you want to use. It also talks about how many days per year the kids need to be in school, how many hours, and also it breaks it down by grade level as well. You have to file quarterly reports, assess your child annually. These are things that have to be reported to the district. So that's very highly regulated. Now let me show you a state that isn't as highly regulated. Now it doesn't mean that you don't do all of those things. It just means that the state doesn't keep track of it like the highly regulated states do. So I'm going to go to California. And I'm going to click on View Complete Details. Unlike New York, California has three options. You can homeschool on your own, you can homeschool through a private school, or you can homeschool through a private tutor. I happen to work for an independent study charter school where I help homeschooling families pick curriculum, keep track of their attendance, collecting work samples, things like that. A lot of people will still choose the first option. I wish that more states had more support, like our school gives support. There's so many charter schools, online charters and physical charters that help families with homeschooling, but unfortunately it's not like that in every state. So I just kind of wanted to share the first option. If you're homeschooling on your own, you file an affidavit with the state. So here is a way easier option. There's an online affidavit that you fill out and bam, you're done. The only thing is, even though this state is not regulated as highly as, let's say, New York, like I just showed you, you still have to maintain your records, your attendance, keeping your work samples, things like that, because you never know if you're going to be audited. So it's very important that you still keep all of your records, even though this state is not as highly regulated as a place like New York. So I definitely wanted to share where you can get this information. There's tons of information on the site. I also wanted to share with you to look up things like homeschooling networks, homeschooling support. I know of two because I live in California and I lived in New York. One of them is California Homeschool Network, and there's also New York State LEA, which is Loving Education at Home, where you can also get resources here. They have conferences, things like that, and you can definitely find homeschooling networks in your area by, typing it in Google. There's so much more information and resources that I want to share with you guys, but today I wanted to focus on the legal aspect because it's really important that you're following the regulations for your state. I'm definitely going to be sharing some more videos in the next coming weeks on curriculum and homeschool organization. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next video.